Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a new makeup haul slash get ready with me. Been waiting to film this video for about 2 weeks now, and honestly I just can't wait any longer to find out how all of these products perform. So let's just sit back, relax, and play with some makeup. Okay. Starting off with primer, I got the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer. I love the packaging. It's just very sleek, very clean. Nice pink tone. So I noticed that the primer is very pink toned. Apparently this is supposed to help even skin tone and reduce redness. This primer also claims to be shine absorbing. I love the smell. And of course for foundation I went ahead and picked up the Fenty Beauty Longwear Foundation. Of course I couldn't just have one of these products, I had to have both. I mean, I kind of just feel like you can't have foundation without the primer or the primer without the foundation. And I feel like these are supposed to be made to be very cohesive with each other. On the Sephora website it says that this foundation is a medium to full coverage foundation. It is supposed to be very climate adaptive and be resistant to sweat and oils coming through, and it's also not supposed to clog your pores. I'm just going to be going in with my usual 2 pumps of foundation, and I picked up the shade 120. I'm just going to be taking my Morphe Beauty sponge and applying that foundation onto the skin. This looks almost like a perfect match to my skin tone. So I'm actually noticing that this product dries very quickly, so just beware. If any of you guys are using this foundation, I would recommend blending this out in sections rather than applying it to the whole face and then blending it out. I would definitely say that this foundation is medium coverage. Honestly, I feel like I get more coverage out of 2 pumps with my Estee Lauder foundation than this, but I really like how this is looking on the skin right now. I also think that this foundation has oxidized a little bit since when I first applied it, so just be cautious of that when you're picking your shade. Next, I'm just going to be going on with my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, and I'm just going to use this to brighten up the under eye. And then I'm just blending that out with that same beauty sponge. And to set that concealer, I'm just going to be going in with the Maybelline Loose Finishing Powder. I've heard so many great things about this. I know it's not really new or anything, but I just went ahead and picked it up at the drugstore. So I'm just taking some of that translucent setting powder and my beauty sponge, and then just kick a little bit of that off, and then just really go in and set that under eye and set that concealer to make sure there's no creases. Because girl, we want this makeup to last. Bitch, we just want this shit to just stay on all day, all night. We want to cover all those insecurities, girl. And then with any excess product left on, I'm just going to be setting the rest of the face. While my face is baking in the oven, I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Brow Pomade in the shade Caramel. And now that I have that brow filled in with the pomade, I'm just going to be going back in with the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown. And I really like using brow pencils at the front of the brow. I feel like it gives it a more natural effect when you actually go in and draw the hair. Next, I'm just going in on my P. Louise base. I'm just going to carve out that eyebrow just to clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to try something a little new. I'm going to be going in with this Maybelline Clear Mascara. So I'm going to be trying it on the brows today and see if it'll set them in place. Right off the bat, this made my eyebrows look very shiny, but I'm going to go ahead and do the other brow off camera, and I'll be right back, and hopefully this side will be dry. Now that I've finished up the brows, I'm just going to be going in and adding some shadows back to the face. And for that, I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I've heard amazing things about this bronzer, and I'm so freaking excited to try this out. Without even opening it up, I can already smell the product. It has a very strong scent of like coconut or like a self tanner. But honestly, I feel like the shade will work pretty well on me. Now this does come with a little applicator, but honestly I don't see myself or anyone using this. I just don't think that this would be good to apply contour or bronzer with, so peace out. Here, I'll just get a little bit on that brush, tap that bitch off. Let's just go in and see. Yes ma'am. I really like the color of this. This bronzer seems to be going very well with my skin tone. So far, I'm absolutely living for this fucking bronzer. This will definitely be going into my favorite. I'm definitely going to be using this more often. I absolutely love the color of this bronzer. I feel like it goes perfectly with my skin tone. I feel like it's not too cool tone, it's not too warm tone. And honestly, I really like that it's not so pigmented. With some products, it's really easy to go in heavy-handed. Next, I'm just going to be going back in with that Maybelline loose powder and really defining this contour. Next, I'm just taking a fluffy powder brush and just wiping away that powder. Next up, I also got 4 ColourPop highlighters. I got 3 Super Shock cheek highlighters and then 1 Luster Dust highlighter. I'm just going to do a couple swatches of them. This first shade is called Flexitarian. Oh shit. Yes, bitch. Wow, these highlighters are like very smooth and buttery and very pigmented. The next shade I got is called Spoon. It's more of a champagne with a gold undertone. And then next up is Wisp, which is just more of a gold highlighter. And this one might actually end up being too deep for my skin tone, but we'll see. And then we have Gnome. This is the Luster Dust highlighter, and I think that's the one that I'm going to be using today. Alright, so I'm just taking that Gnome Luster Dust and I'm just going to be applying that to the cheeks. Oh shit. Oh my god. Look how fucking wet that looks. This is just wet. Oh, wow. It's beautiful. Yes, bitch. Yes. Look at that shit. Ugh. Honestly, like, you can never have too much highlight. Alright, we are glowing now. We are glowing now, bitches. Okay. And the last thing I picked up is this Urban Decay Born to Run palette. Out of all of the new things I got, this is probably the one I am most excited about. This is the first Urban Decay palette or even item that I've ever owned. So this is the outside of the palette. And then the inside. As you can see, I've obviously been testing out this palette a lot. This is the only new item that I got that I've actually tested out. Everything else has been like a first impressions. I'm not going to get too much into detail on this because I'm actually going to be filming a palette review over this. So if you guys are interested in that, then just hit that like button and let me know. That way I can get that up for you guys. And just to tie this whole look together, I'm just going to be going in with the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in this shade Mannequin. This is not a new product, but I didn't have a lipstick, so I figured I would go ahead and use this one. And last but not least, I picked up this ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip, and I got this in the shade Fairy Floss. I've never tried any lip glosses before, so this is my first one. And honestly, the only reason I picked it up is because Manny MUA actually recommended this in one of his videos a couple weeks ago. I'm just going to be placing this right over Jeffree Star Mannequin. Yes, really love how it gives that like glossy pouty effect. I love that. Alright guys, that's all the new products I got. I'm just going to do like a quick little recap of all the products. So for the Fenty Beauty primer, it did a great job of smoothing out my skin texture and also clearing up any redness that I had. For the Fenty Beauty foundation, honestly, I'm loving how my skin is looking right now. The only thing I have to say about the Fenty Beauty foundation is that I would recommend applying and blending it out in sections rather than the whole face, just because it dries pretty fast. But other than that, my skin looks great. It looks flawless. I love how it blended out into the skin. And I honestly feel like these two products go really well together. I mean, of course, they're probably made for each other, but as for the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, I think it did an amazing job at setting my foundation, as well as really smoothing out my under eye when I set the concealer. And honestly, I think I'm going to be replacing my Coty Airspun with this powder. So yeah. As for the Physicians Formula Better Bronzer, I think this is an amazing product for lighter skin tones. It definitely doesn't pack a whole lot of pigment, but it is definitely buildable. I'll continue to use the highlighters that I got as well, but the ones I used today, Flexitarian and the Luster Dust in Nomi, worked very well, and I will definitely be using these again in the future. And as for the lip gloss, I never thought I'd be into lip gloss, but I really liked this. And lastly, for the Born to Run palette, so far I absolutely love this palette. And like I said earlier in this video, I'm going to be doing a full review on this Born to Run palette, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's all I have for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week with another new video. Bye guys.